Yo, what's up, YouTube, what's good? It's Aircraft TV Reactor here, back here with another video. Today we are going to be reacting to the greatest of old kid shows by the Generosity. Put all my links down in the description. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. Run this video up. I want to see 100 views on this bit. Alright, let's get into it.
Every day when you're walking down the street, everybody that you meet.
Babies. Who doesn't love them? Oh, not me, but that's only because I'm grown now. Yeah, the only time when I liked babies was during the time when I was inside one. Wait. That's not what I meant.
Whoa. Hey, yo. When I was inside one, yo, bro. What in the yo? This man sees a cupcake. Yo, send this man to EDP town immediately, gang. I'm not even gonna sit here tell you no lie. Yo, the Generosity. What's going on? What's going on with you, gang? What's going on?
What I meant, that sounds crazy. What I meant was when I was a literal baby myself. Like, we've all been inside babies before. Wait, hold
on. Again? Nah, again is crazy, bro. Again, I guess if you said it one time and then you brush it off, like, but bro, twice, and it's been almost 30 seconds, bro. It's insane.
That's not what I meant. When you're a baby, you don't gotta worry about nothing. Someone's already feeding you, bathing you, strolling you around on the street, cleaning the doodle out your pants. You never have any responsibilities for yourself. Being a baby is the new 80. It's awesome.
It is. It's immaculate. You ain't got no responsibilities. You get to sit there, Google, got Google all day. Feel me? You got unlimited food and you got unlimited cartoons. Let's get back into it.
And since we were babies, when we weren't sleeping or swallowing the nearest lethal object, we were playing with toys or watching the
story time. So I was playing with my brother's toy car when I was four, maybe 5. Definitely not 5, probably like 4. The wheel came off the toy car. I remember it was a Volkswagen. Tell me why I snorted it. Don't ask why. Don't ask me no questions on why I snorted it. My mama got it out my nose. It's all that matters. I'm breathing fresh air. You feel me? All right, let's get back into the video.
Watching the preschool shows our parents put on the TV. You know, they changed it to the children's channels. PBS, TBS, CBS, putting on the shows for us toddlers. Well, my parents didn't really do that. I would just watch whatever my siblings were watching, which was Cartoon Network and Disney Channel 99.
Facts. Either that or I was sitting there watching Noggin. Comment down below if you remember what Noggin was. And I was that bum ass Nick Jr., you feel me? But back then Noggin was immaculate tunes. Let's see if he talks about any of the tunes that was on at those times, you feel me?
99% of the time, and whatever my dad was watching. And he was not watching the most baby-friendly stuff. Like, literally, both me and my dad would fall asleep watching Friday the 13th or something on Showtime. Then at 4 a.m., I'd wake up to Showtime playing straight-up corn on the channel. Not even a scene, like, just a straight-up corn movie. And I just stared at it. My balls were still in my stomach, so I ain't feel nothing. But when watching it, I felt like a industry baby, if you catch my drift. In short, I ain't watched that many kid shows. But when I did, I was watching what every other baby was watching. While babies nowadays are looking at their Cocomelon,
Bro, my kid is never watching Cocomelon a day of his life. I'm gonna tell you this right now. My kid will never watch Cocomelon ever. Mom, Dad, there's this new show called Coco. No, you're gonna sit there. You're gonna sit here and catch these backyardigans. You're gonna sit here and catch this Rugrats. You're gonna sit here and catch, you know what I'm saying, all the show that I used to watch. You're gonna sit here and catch this Wild Wild Webs. You're gonna sit here and catch this Wonder Pets. You feel me? You're not watching Cocomelon is gonna be forbidden in my household, just like how SpongeBob was forbidden in my household back when I was growing up. Cocomelon is gonna be forbidden in my household. Forbidden.
We Gen Ziggers was watching classics. Classics in the making. The children's programming from back in the day of our
Was
babyhoods were some of
immaculate
the
tunes.
greatest. Educating
Oh
us kids
God.
on valuable lessons like
Yep.
go brush your teeth or don't be an ass. And I wanted to
Let me go back real quick.
valuable lessons like go brush your teeth or don't be an ass.
Her, her right here. I don't know if you can see. Y'all can see my cursor, but her right here. She didn't have to do my man Max like that. And this is one of the other shows I couldn't watch as a kid because my mom was like, "Oh, Max only says one word, so you can't watch it." Da da da. This was the immaculate tunes when I watched it. For the little bit of time I watched it, you had this, you had Wow Wow Wubsy, you had Yo Gabba Gabba. Come on, they're not making tunes like they used to. They're not making tunes like they used to no more.
Ass. And I wanted to use the Wayback Machine and reminisce on the very simple times of watching baby shows. Talk on how some of them were great
Yep.
and how some of them were the back door to my.
This was such a good. I loved Ubi, bro. Oh my gosh, I loved Ubi. These finger puppets. If y'all remember Ubi, comment down below. If I remember this one show called Jack's Big Music Show. That's an OG show. If you remember that show before Layfish for real. But other than that, these were some elite cartoons. Let's get back into it.
My nightmares. But I'm gonna save that for the end. I'm gonna start this off with a channel that we're all familiar with, Disney Junior. Now, I'm not gonna show that much footage because Disney sucks, but I remember when this channel became a thing. Like, I was like around 8 years old enough to realize the meaning of my existence, but not old enough to have common sense, so I still needed this educational channels. But honestly, thinking about it right now, I don't think I ever watched a show to be educated before. I for real watched a lot of kids' education shows back then, and I don't think I've learned a single thing from any of them. They were teaching
Not a single one. Like Sesame Street was supposed to teach you the word of the day, or like the alphabet, like the letter of the day or whatever. Like it was supposed to teach us some valuable lessons. I didn't get a single lesson out those shows. I was just watching it because it was on.
teaching us stuff that we already learned at school. Why the hell I need to repeat it at me? That's why back then I barely watched kids shows that would ask you a question and wait 20 years.
Dora, Sid the Science Kid was a good show
For you to answer. It ruins my immersion of the show. I get less and less attached to the show when they hit me with fourth wall breaks. You ain't supposed to know I'm here. Like, who are you talking to? After wait.
That team movie Zuni? Hold on.
When they hit me with fourth wall breaks, you ain't supposed to know I'm here. Like, who are you talking to?
Elite show, by the way. This was such a good show. Immaculate tunes.
And after waiting 80 years of them just staring at you, waiting for you to answer, they just assume your answer.
Ni hao Kailan. Oh, these are so far these clips of like the old shows. I watched a lot of them.
Anyway, so why'd you ask me in the first place? Wasting my time. I had goals as a kid. I had stuff to do. And this show is just wasting my time. Anyway, I forgot Disney Junior. There were a few shows I used to always watch. I remember watching Big Bear in the Big Blue House sometimes. Honestly, this show kind
Never watched it. Comment down below if y'all watched it and tell me how it was. Just comment down below. Hold on.
of scared me as a kid because the moon, it reminded me of that molester moon emoji. And that's the most I remember from the show. And I sadly wasn't a Wiggles guy either. But
Me neither. I remember it. It's just that it wasn't like like I wasn't voluntarily watching the Wiggles. I mean, if it was on, then I would watch a little bit of it, but I got bored of it.
But I heard a bunch of songs from them, and not gonna lie, they're pretty great. I've heard a bunch of songs from them, and after hearing them, I can tell you that this is one of the greatest bands of this generation, of any generation. Every song.
Wrong. Fresh Beat Band was the best band of this generation. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong in the comments down below. Wiggles or Fresh Beat Band? Comment down below.
song for them makes you hype and go crazy. They're basically the Beatles if they were good. There was also Special Agent Oso.
Also,
And
yeah.
really the only reason I attempted to watch this show was because Mr. Mosby was playing the wolf on the show, fulfilling my fantasies I had about him. But none of those shows were the main shows. The big three of my Disney Junior experience was Handy Manny, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and Little Einsteins.
I can agree. I can definitely agree. Little Einsteins was top tier cartoons. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse was elite, and Handy Mandy was elite cartoon, my boy. I agree with you. Clap it up for this. I clap it up for this. Big three right here. It's the good three.
Not Doc McStuffins. She ain't no.
My sister was in. Hold on.
Manny, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and Little Einsteins. Not Doc.
My sister was in love with Doc McStuffins. She had Doc McStuffins everything when we was growing up.
McStuffins. She ain't no real doctor. She can't get me my BBL. Or Sophia the First. That show's for Atlanta niggas. We ain't no real doctor. She can't get me my BBL.
Why is he like this at church though? At church though, you gonna make a lot of women act up in the house of the Lord.
Or Sophia the First. That show's for. We all know the deal with Handy Manny. You know, Mexican dude with talking tos that can fix anything, from a boat to a chair to your accident. You name it.
Dang.
The characters were fun too. You know, there was this guy who was a complete loser. He had no hairline. He lived with this cat. He was always the butt of the joke. Never had any bitches. Easily the most relatable character on the show. Also remember them adding this new character. It was a flashlight. He only spoke Minion. I don't remember what language he spoke. But they was adorable. Every time they were on screen, they was just like cute like a minion. Then the main man, Manny himself, just being a helpful, handsome guy. He had a girlfriend, at least I think that was his girlfriend. He always had everybody on his back. He was such a Chad. He
had all the females, bro. Like, I want to be just like Manny for real.
Such a handsome man. He's just a dandy guy. I like him. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, an automatic classic for the opening and ending songs alone. You know that song's M-I-C-K-E-Y, M-O-U-S-C. Oh man, makes my balls hot. Especially that hot diggity dog. Look at Goofy go. Do I need to say more? The only thing I remember this show messing up on was when they gave Toodles a face and a personality.
Why? Why did they do this? Like, the show was a 10 out of 10 cartoon. Had the music, had the games, had the storyline, the plot, the dance at the end, the roll call in the beginning, like the little in between shorts between episodes was fire. But when they put I had to cut off the show.
Now he can talk and he can communicate with us.
You're supposed to give us mouse. You're supposed to give us mouse tools, not you having a whole storyline.
I don't want this, man. He don't need to speak, bro. It's weird. Like, look at him. He look creepy. If he could speak the whole time, then why didn't he say anything before? He's plotting something. I know it. And then there was Little Einsteins. I just loved it because I'm a bit of a musician myself. You know, I can play piano, trumpet, the recorder, the triforce of instruments. And since I'm a musical genius, of course this show would appeal to someone like me.
Exactly. Like, they was taking us all across the world, and we was just sitting there in front of the TV screen. They was taking us all different types of places in that little space rocket, in that rocket ship.
And honestly, I don't remember what they did on this show. Like, they had a ship, there were talking instruments. Dang, I think that's all I remember. I just remember loving it as a kid. And that theme song, you know, that old meme. They just don't make them like that no more. But Disney Junior was a great entertainment and education source for children back then, especially me. But it wasn't my favorite. Moving on to a channel that I liked more as a kid, in terms of baby shows, Nick Jr. Nick Jr. I have a lot more memories of as a kid, even though they had some dookie butt shows like Dora and the more boring Diego.
Nah, this is me. I was agreeing with you on Disney Junior with the top three. I can agree with you on Dora. Dora's alright, but Go Diego Go. Great tunes, immaculate tunes, top tier A tier tunes.
Diego, but everything else,
Comment down below if you think I should do a tier list of Nick Jr. shows. I'll probably post that next week.
pretty good. Wonder Pets was pretty lit, although that turtle can go chug a bottle of piss. I still hate turtles. The Backyardigans, everybody loved this show.
Great tunes. Tyrone, Uniqua, Tasha, Austin, Pablo, like the whole gang was just fire in their own special way. They had their own type of personalities. Like one, Tasha was the sassy one. That's basically it.
Show. And the animals, Tanisha, Pablo,
Tanisha's crazy.
Jesse, and James, I don't remember their names, but it was such a fun show. You know, the backyard was always transforming and getting new settings like every single episode. I loved it. My favorite episodes were the jungle episode and the western episode.
My favorite episodes were the racing when they did the Olympics and the Martian one.
Max and Ruby. Now, I got
It's the show that I wasn't able to watch because my mom said that Max only said one word, so we wasn't allowed to watch it.
mixed feelings on this. I used to watch this show a lot.
Like, I enjoyed the show as a kid, but I didn't really like Max all that much when I was young. I didn't really know any better back then. I just saw him making mud cakes and I was just like, that's gross. There's worms in it, bro. Why are you making that? It wasn't until I got older that I realized that Max was just having fun, man. He was just a young kid just having.
He was a young boy just doing boy things, but Ruby was trying to make him do girly things. No, let that boy be a little boy and let him have his dreams and have his toys and make his mud pie and stuff like that. Like, yeah, if he wants to make a literal mud pie, let my man's make a literal mud pie. He's a little boy.
Having fun playing with his toys, making cakes. He was just doing his thing. The real villain of this show, it was Ruby. I'm not gonna get too in detail because then I'll just be stealing this guy's content. Shout out to him. But let me say this.
If I was in a room with a bow and arrow, with only 2 arrows, and there was me, Ruby. No, I don't even care who else is there. I'm gonna shoot Ruby twice. Blue's Clues was pretty cool too. You know, I like
this one. I don't know who decided. I'm sorry. I don't know who decided to do that. They should be in prison because hear me out. I know they try to make it for the new generation. Cool. All right. Cool. Y'all could have made it for the whole new generation. Y'all could have kept it hand drawn. I'm so sorry they did this to you, Blue. Till I die, you know what I'm saying? But the old Blue's Clues was better. Y'all gonna hate me in the comments for this one. Joe was better than Steve. I'm just saying. That's my hot topic of the show. Joe was better than Steve. Don't argue with me, argue with your mama. I'm just saying.
I like the cat. I like the box
Meltdown.
characters. My man Steve was drawing like Picasso with just a crayon. The show was
exactly with just a crayon, not a marker, pencil, lead pencil, a crayon, not even a color pencil, a crayon.
nuts until Steve left to buy some cigarettes.
I loved Joe. Joe was more fun than Steve, in my opinion. And that's my personal opinion because I grew up on Joe. I didn't really grow up on Steve. I didn't grow up on Steve like that, but I most definitely grew up on Joe. Comment down below if y'all remember. Oh, my fault. If y'all remember Blues Room. The little shorts in between the episodes of Blues Clues. Blues Room was like a 5 minute short. Immaculate.
What does the new Steve look like again?
Oh God! Who is that? Is that has to be an international one? I think that's UK. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the United Kingdom.
Who the fuck is this? Peppa Pig. I didn't really watch it because it was British.
Yeah, me too. It was on, but wasn't like sitting in front of the television waiting for it. You feel me?
And I was more of a Olivia kind of guy.
Yeah, yeah. Olivia, Olivia.
But I'll admit it, the Peppa Pig album is pretty fire. Like, unironically, it's better than Honestly Trash. And I ain't gonna forget to go, yo, Gabba Gabba.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch it that much, but my brothers loved it, and the characters look nice. Biz Marquee is in like every episode.
May he rest in peace. May Biz Marquee rest in peace. This is the first time I got a glimpse of him was from this show. And Mark Mother Burrow or whatever his name was when he used to draw and stuff. I got my first glimpse of Elijah Wood when he was in guest doing the little dancey dance segment. You know what I'm saying? Good times, immaculate times.
So beatboxing, and DJ Lance is so into his character in the show that he's still in his character over 10 years.
Yeah, he still makes TikToks to this day in that character. To this day, he his whole internet excuse me space is evolved around that character. To this day, I watched TikToks of him a couple throughout the time of him still being in character after what 10, 15 years. And I think that's kind of fire.
10 years after the show ended. So that's dedication right there. But yeah, I ain't
really is. It really is dedication. If he's doing that 10, 15 years later, he really, really loved what he did on that show at Nickelodeon. He really put his time and effort every day. He probably came in with a smile every day to work just to film a show, or when he was on tour and stuff like that. He really put his all into that character, and I appreciate that. Shout out to that boy DJ Lance, you feel me?
I ain't really watched the show as a kid. The most I got from it was that one episode from South Park where Fufa became a thought. That's the most I ever got from it. And my personal favorite Nick Jr. show was Little Bill.
Okay, Little Bill. Okay, I can see Little Bill. But there was so many other great shows. You had the Wawa Wubsies, you had the Wonder Pets, you had Ubi, you had Jack's Big Music Show, you had I can't think of them off the top of my head, but they got a good show. But this one I can kind of agree with you. This was an immaculate cartoon.
Now, ignoring the controversies, this show taught me so many things, like how to talk to girls, how to ask a girl out, and the secret to getting any girl. And thanks to this show, I can say these tips.
It taught Bill Cosby too. I'm just saying.
Tips changed my life for the better. Because of these tips, every time I move into a new home, I have
Hugh Hefner
to introduce myself to my female neighbors, and under state law, I basically had to tell them how good I am with the ladies. You know what I'm saying?
You don't go on to catch those SA charges.
Know what I mean? I'm the risk god, all because of Little Bill. Alright, moving on from that, I want to talk about my actual favorite shows from back when I was a kindergartner. And back then, I was a huge fan of Thomas the Tank Engine. I love this show so much. It's just something about him. I was addicted to this show. Like, actually, I owned DVDs, had so many train sets and toys. I even wore Thomas the Tank Engine undies. I was wearing this man on my balls. You cannot tell.
If you're wearing him on your, you know what I'm saying, on your junk, then yeah, you a diehard fan for real.
I'm a fake fan. You can't call me gay either. He's a train. No. Let him run a train on me. I really do love Thomas.
Hey, okay.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Three times. Do a little. You was an AO.
changing. I consider it a very big part of my babyhood. I think the reason I liked this show so much was cause that it was a very chill show. Nothing would happen in your face. The conflicts would always be in the island of Sodor with the trains doing the task that Sir Toppin Hat would tell them to do. And then a small hiccup happens and then they solve it, learning a lesson maybe in the process. Simple. It was a very simple, chill show, and I like trains. The interactions were always very sweet, and when they weren't, you know when shit was going down. But they would always make amends at the end. This was a show just trying to tell a simple story each episode.
Y'all gonna hate me for this one, but Chuckington was better than Thomas the Tank Engine.
It's not like those other baby shows that would constantly break the fourth wall and just start singing out of nowhere or asking you, do you know what 5 plus 5 is?
Don't hate on Bubble Guppies. Bubble Guppies was immaculate in tunes too.
My favorite color, green. Like, bro, go lick my nut and gargle it, bro. I hate shows like that. Sometimes us kids just want to be entertained like the grown-ups. We don't want to get constantly talked down to in shows. We already get enough of that in real life. Why would we want that in our entertainment? And Thomas did have learning segments where they would ask us kids questions, but it would be in between episodes. Not the actual episode would have it. It would never get in the way of the actual plot of the episode. This is why I kind of liked Arthur as a kid too, because it ain't interrupt you in the middle.
It really didn't. That's my whole thing. It didn't like interrupt you like, oh, what's 75 plus 5? Like, it gave you a plot, then a little bit of education, and then a plot. Like Cyber Chase, for example, also a WPBS kid show. Cyber Chase was moving, we beating Hacker at his like. It had a W plot, W villains, W storyline, everything. Characters immaculate. Okay. Shout out to Gilbert Godfrey, RIP. But yeah, he like that show had math in it, but it made math fun.
The middle of the episode with random questions. We was just enjoying ourselves, learning not to swear, and definitely not wanting to learn how to
Stop.
knit.
No, I'm not a knitter.
Arthur was great. I still don't understand that.
YouTube, he said knitter, N-K-N-I-T-T-E-R, K-I-N-T-T-E-R, knitter, not the other word.
A racism episode though. I thought it was just animals in this universe, but black people exist too apparently and get unfair treatment from the police. But there was no other races that were mentioned, so is it the animals that are the ones being racist? Is it just black people and animals in this universe? What does an interracial baby look like? Okay, I'm gonna stop asking questions. Back to Thomas. I also love how the show only has a narrator. Narrating and doing every voice in the show. I loved it. It made the show feel more common and soothing. I even remember when Alec Baldwin was the narrator for season 5. He was great too. You just had to wear a bulletproof vest every time you watched the show. Not to
Stop it. May that lady rest in peace. May that lady rest in peace.
mention the music. It's out of this world. It has no reason to being that great. And it wasn't just a few good ones here and there, a few good bops. No. Every single one. I'm serious too. Every song sounds like it could be one of those classic Disney songs from back in the day. They just are so catchy and so good to sing along to. And accidents will happen. One of the greatest songs
There's 2, there's 4, there's 68. Forgot the rest of the
all time.
lyrics.
Top 100. Not even fibbing. Listen to it yourself. It's like in 1984 when the show was created. The music team for this show was like, yo, let's only drop classics for the next 20 years. Like we're Kanye West or something. And the whole team responded, who
My fault, y'all. My screen recorder don't want to see me win. Let me get back into this video. Like I was saying in the last clip, my favorite shows is Wawa Wubsy, Me Curious George, Wawa Wubsy, and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
because as soon as they went CGI, it was downhill. And only downhill. I was appalled when they switched to style. This happened back in 2009 when I was 6 turning 7. And even back then I hated it. I was all like, why are their mouths moving now? Why are the people moving? Why do they have their own voices? It changed so much. I avoided this new version every time I saw it on TV. I missed it when they were actual toys and it was in reality. This is just weird. It's unnatural seeing them like this. I always hated when kids shows would switch their style just to look more modern.
Thank you.
Just look at Bob the Builder. For years he was looking good.
That man's was fresh. I mean, my man was out here kicking him. Okay, he was sharp. He had the facial features.
Looking nice because he was in stop motion. Look at Bob go.
Yep.
Woo! Okay, let's see what Bob the Builder looks like now.
Boots check, tool belt check, hard hat check.
What is that? Man look like a 40-year-old, a middle-aged man that got 3 kids, a wife, in a 3-story home. Like, what's going on?
Who the hell is that? That is definitely not Bob.
Not
that
Bob.
dude's name is Bertram. That is not Bob. That is not the same man that I knew from my childhood. This is not my Bob. They doing the same thing with Thomas. It's horrifying. And that ain't even the worst of it. You know the music? How I said it was one of the best songs of all time. You know, it should win all the BET Hip Hop Awards. It's so ass now. Oh my goodness. They changed the whole vibes of the songs, bro. It sounds so terrible, man. It used to be a choir of kids singing, and now it's just... Listen to this.
A special day with all your friends. Seems like
What is that?
it will never end.
This is trash. Who thought of this, bro? And the new intro is even worse, man. Listen.
Let's go, go, go on a big world adventure.
This is not Thomas sounding music. This shit sound like Paw Patrol, bro.
True.
I can't believe they massacred Tony like this, bro. And this is not the reason why I wore you on my balls, man. This is not the show I used to love and
I wore on my balls, bro.
enjoy. Stop trying to appease to these kids and appease to me, a grown-ass man. Appeal to me. They ruined it, man. They ruined it. They really turned Thomas the Tank Engine into that freaking bootleg rip-off Thomas the Tank Engine Chuggington. This is honestly one of the...
Chucky Chin was better. Chuggington was Chuggington.
worst things to ever happen in humanity. And since I'm over here whining about this children's show, let me talk about one final show real quick. A show that I only remember watching once in my childhood, but that one time alone left a scar that still remains to this day. I was in elementary school, staying up a little late one night, and on a TV, it was on Nick Jr. 20
Moose and Z. May they souls rest in peace, you feel me?
24/7 baby content playing all the time. And at around midnight, this new show came on. It was called Ubi. This
was such a good cartoon. I want to know. This show was such a good show. I loved Ubi to the day. To this day, I would watch an episode of Ubi.
show was a hand puppet show, but unlike Sesame Street or any other hand puppet show, it was just hands.
This show gave me so... Alright, I'm gonna cut the bullshit. The show ain't even that scary. I don't even know why I found this show scary as a kid. It's just hand puppets. Maybe it's their creepy eyes, I don't know. But I'm not gonna try to hype it up to be like scary. I'm gonna sound like one of those like SpongeBob Theory channels or whatever. It's also because this show made me raise a lot of questions. Like...
How do they eat? How do they swallow their food? Where does it go? How do they use the bathroom? Do they have holes?
What? Sorry about that. My brother came in.
How do they fight? How are their eyes attached to their hands? How do they put on rings? When they high-five each other, Did they just kiss?
Kiss?
Did they just have intercourse on screen?
Whoa.
How do they even do it in this universe? And if they do it, do they wear gloves for protection? So, how do they wear the gloves? Wouldn't that just cover their eyes? Where do their bodies end? There's actual people in this universe. What do they see below their hands? How do they drive cars in this universe? What is pushing the gas pedal? How does anything get done in this universe? I didn't like how many questions this show had me asking. That one time I watched this show was a life-changing and threatening experience for me as a child. And I hope no kid had to experience the nightmares I did because of this show.
Wild.
I've grown a lot since I was a jit. I'm never saying that again. I've grown in hair, length,
hair, length, voice, all that.
size, but most importantly,
My fault, y'all. My other brother came in.
I've grown in mind. And I don't think I would be the person I am.
My fault, y'all. I had to do a couple things, you know what I'm saying? But let's get back into this last minute of change.
I am today if it weren't for these children's shows. Well, mostly only Thomas and Little Bill, but the rest were here too. If I forgot to mention a show, I just didn't watch it as a kid. That's just the way it turned out for me. I love
Word Girl was amazing.
reminiscing about old times and old childhood memories. It makes me feel less old. And since we're towards the end of the video, I did not expect this video to be as long as it is. But that just shows how dedicated I am to this topic. And in conclusion, free Bill Cosby. It starts with
One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time.
All of beat and everything. Alright, we're gonna wrap up this video. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that extra stuff. Share with your friends, you feel me? All my links are gonna be in the description. All my socials are gonna be in the description, you feel me? Like, comment, share, subscribe. Share it to everybody, you know what I'm saying? Share it to your friends, family, loved ones, your dogs, cousins, sisters, aunts, boyfriend. Alright, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. I love y'all. Peace.